Imagine waking up to your morning alarm, only instead of your usual Spotify playlist, a drone's at your window flashing, missile defense activated, coffee delivery delayed. Welcome to the AI arms race of 2025, where machine learning isn't just picking your next binge watch, it's steering drones, guarding nukes, and deciding if that blip on radar is a bird or the beginning of World War III. What used to be science fiction is now standard issue. The US, China, and Russia are locked in a high-speed game of my AI's smarter than yours. And the stakes? Just global stability. With military budgets exploding and autocorrect potentially triggering Armageddon, this isn't a test. It's live, it's real, and it's somehow both terrifying and sponsored by the same tech that powers your toaster. Supercomputers, smart missiles, and staggering budgets. As of 2025, AI military spending is surging. The global market has jumped from just $4.6 billion in 2022 to over $9.2 billion in 2023, and it's projected to hit nearly $39 billion by 2028. This growth is driven by rapid advancements in machine learning, quantum computing, and robotics, all of which are now vital for warfare. But who's actually leading the charge? Let's start with the United States. The US continues to pour billions into military AI, with an estimated $2 billion annually specifically for AI development and up to $3.5 billion allocated to autonomous systems. In 2025 alone, the Department of Defense has requested a staggering $28.4 billion just for missile defense upgrades, much of which includes AI-powered systems. Meanwhile, private sector partnerships are thriving. OpenAI, having once been a cautious observer of military applications, is now officially in the game. In April 2025, it inked a $200 million contract with the Pentagon, its first ever direct defense partnership, focusing on cyber defense, administrative AI, and predictive healthcare for troops. But that's just the appetizer. In what might be the largest tech-military fusion in history, OpenAI, Oracle, SoftBank, and other tech giants have launched Project Stargate, a $500 billion initiative to supercharge US AI infrastructure by 2029. If it sounds like something out of Marvel, that's because it practically is, minus the spandex and flying hammers. On the other side of the Pacific, China is playing an equally aggressive game. Its official military budget for 2025 now tops 1.78 trillion yuan, around $246 billion, a 7.2% increase from the previous year. Although China rarely discloses exact figures for AI, it's estimated to be spending around $1.6 billion annually on AI-related military programs. But what makes China formidable is not just the spending, it's the scale and speed of its deployment. China has invested over 730 billion yuan, nearly $100 billion, across its AI and robotics sectors, blending military and civilian applications seamlessly. It's a nation where facial recognition helps enforce public behavior, AI doctors triage patients, and drones patrol borders, all part of a broader state strategy called military-civil fusion. In the AI war game, China isn't just aiming to match the US, it's aiming to outmaneuver it. One of China's major breakthroughs came with the release of Deepseek's R1 model in early 2025. Developed by a state-aligned AI lab, this model shocked the global tech market, briefly wiping $600 billion off Nvidia's market cap as investors feared China had caught up, if not surpassed, Western AI capabilities. While the panic was short-lived, the message was clear. China's catching up fast, and they're not slowing down. Russia, meanwhile, is fighting a different kind of AI war, with fewer resources and weaker infrastructure. It has adopted a more battlefield-oriented approach. Its 2025 military budget is around 15.5 trillion rubles, about 7.2% of its GDP, with a heavy focus on unmanned systems and electronic warfare. President Putin has explicitly stated that by 2030, 30% of Russia's combat power should come from AI-driven or autonomous systems. To that end, Russia launched a brand new military branch in 2025, the Unmanned Systems Forces. With over 210,000 personnel dedicated solely to drone operations, this marks a significant shift in how Russia wages war. Having learned hard lessons in Ukraine, where off-the-shelf drones proved surprisingly lethal, Russia is now building homegrown swarm and counter-swarm capabilities. While their consumer-level AI still lags behind OpenAI or Deepseek, their military AI is increasingly effective and, frankly, scary. The new oil of the AI era. One of the least sexy but most critical components in this this race is compute power, specifically access to AI supercomputers and high-performance chips. In this arena, the US still reigns supreme, owning about 75% of all global frontier compute that is top-tier AI-capable hardware. Leading the pack is Elon Musk's XAI Colossus cluster, launched in March 2025, which boasts over 200,000 AI chips and consumes a mind-boggling 300 megawatts of power. That's enough electricity to light up a small country or run a fleet of nuclear submarines. China isn't far behind, but the US has imposed strict chip export controls, cutting off China from advanced semiconductors. These restrictions have forced China to innovate quickly. Its AI startups are now developing chips that achieve about 60% of the performance of NVIDIA's top-of-the-line H100 GPU. Not bad, considering the ban started just a few years ago. Russia, by contrast, faces major challenges. Sanctions, brain drain, and limited domestic chip-making capacity have left it heavily reliant on military-specific AI systems. However, battlefield ingenuity is Russia's strong suit, and it's adapting fast by using rugged, low-cost drones and automating battlefield logistics to reduce the need for high-end compute. The risk of algorithmic apocalypse. If this all sounds like a giant Silicon Valley hackathon with tanks, keep in mind, the stakes are apocalyptic. One of the gravest concerns in the AI arms race is the integration of AI into nuclear command and control systems. Experts at the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute warn that an over-reliance on automated decision-making could lead to catastrophic miscalculations, like mistaking a satellite for a missile or misidentifying a training exercise as a nuclear strike. China, in particular, is on a breakneck path to nuclear parity. It currently holds about 600 warheads and is adding around 100 each year, aiming to reach 1,500 by 2035. It's also building over 350 new ICBM silos. Meanwhile, the New START treaty between the US and Russia, once a pillar of global nuclear stability, has expired, with no replacement in sight. In this geopolitical climate, AI doesn't just speed up response times, it shortens fuses. And it's not just missiles we have to worry about. AI-generated disinformation is already reshaping political landscapes. In the lead up to the 2025 NATO summit, cyber groups linked to Russia and China were suspected of deploying generative AI to create fake video footage, forge diplomatic leaks, and even deepfake phone calls between Western leaders. The line between propaganda and reality has never been blurrier or more dangerous. Drones, domes, and disinformation. The battlefield is where AI is most visible and deadly. The US is leading the charge with Project Artemis, a drone swarm initiative co-developed with Ukraine. These AI-powered drones operate in coordinated formations, resist electronic warfare, and use real-time data to avoid interception. Think of them as bees with laser-guided stingers. The US is also pushing forward with the Golden Dome, a next-gen missile defense system that uses AI to track hypersonic missiles and direct satellite-based countermeasures. Meanwhile, China is integrating drones across civilian and military sectors, from hospital deliveries to border patrols to naval surveillance. Russia's unmanned systems forces are going full throttle on asymmetric warfare. With lower cost but highly efficient systems, they're focusing on electronic warfare, drone swarms, and cyber disruption. The irony? While Russia can't match the US or China in language models, it's proving terrifyingly good at applying AI where it counts, on the battlefield. And there you have it, the wild, weird, and very real race where nations aren't just stockpiling weapons, they're upgrading them with algorithms. If this blew your mind more than a drone-powered espresso machine, do me a huge favor, smash that like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, stay curious, stay safe, and remember, never let your neural net write the launch codes.